Right. What's up, everyone? Welcome. Welcome. We got Andre from Edgeful on. But before we get into it, I do want to make sure, and before Andre introduces himself, we'll go into a bit of the updates. I'm sure everyone that's listening will know about Edgeful, and guys that follow me and my content and my trading. I've spoken about how Edgeful's actually helped me change over from the currencies through to the US markets. We're going to give some updates. You can go check Edgeful out. The link is in my bio. So make sure to go hit that link, go check them out. But basically, Edgeful is a data platform that allows you to make statistics more available to the retail traders in order to find our edge and, excuse the pun, our edge, but how to make better trading decisions. But here's Andre. Andre, if you can just give just a brief introduction on who you are, what you do, and what Edgeful is.
Yeah, so thanks for having me. My name is Andre. I'm the CEO of Edgeful, also the co-founder. And I'm a trader. I've been trading since 2016. My background is in finance and accounting. I was an analyst at a hedge fund. I was an analyst at Goldman Sachs. So I've been in this industry for a little bit. And in terms of Edgeful, it's pretty much, if you ever think about like how often do gaps fill? How often does price break out of an orb? What weekdays make the higher lows of the week? What weekdays have the most volume and range? These are the questions that Edgeful will answer, and it actually shows you the probabilities for crypto, forex, stocks, and futures. It shows you, we can show you up to 5 years back. We can show you on specific sessions, on specific weekdays, and it might sound a little bit intimidating when I say it like that, but it's actually very simple and it's very boiled down. So you don't need any analysis experience. You don't need to work at Goldman Sachs to figure this out. We built it in a way so even if you don't like numbers, you can go in and understand the probabilities and to trade with them in your favor. So,
sure. I like that. Okay, cool. So we wanted to go over a little bit of the updates. I know we got a few guys joining from the Discord. So again, I will just say this I know it's a Friday. It doesn't feel like a Friday with all these holidays, but 8 a.m. Eastern time, every single Wednesday through Friday, I am live in the Edgeful Discord. If you go onto Edgeful's website, so let me actually share my screen here, which I got up over here. So if you go onto Edgeful's website, and Andre, if you can share your screen as well, so we can start getting we'll go over a few updates and everything like that. But if I just get my screen up over here, you should be able to see this. Let's make it like this. Like that should make it a little bit easier. Okay, so left-hand side of here. If you come over to the left-hand side and we're still doing free trials? You're still doing free trials, Andre?
Yep, okay.
Yep, okay, so still doing free trials. And on the left-hand side here, you can come and join the Discord. 8 a.m. Eastern time, Wednesday through Friday, I do pre-market prep, showing you guys how I use Edgeful, at least, how I use Edgeful in my own trading, what I like, and come join there for some questions as well. Andre, if you can maybe just give a few updates on Edgeful, your side, what do we have coming into the next few weeks?
For sure. So you can see my screen, right? Let me move this over. Perfect. So pretty much, for those of you who are new, Edgeful is broken out into two sections. This toolbox section, which houses all of the reports. If you've ever seen someone talk about the orb report or initial balance or power hour continuation or whatever, opening candle continuation, any of those reports, you're going to find them here in this toolbox section. It's defaulted to this. So whenever you open Edgeful, you're going to come right to the screen and you're going to see all of our reports right here. The other piece, the other branch or the other arm of Edgeful is this what's in play section. Now, at this moment, we have over 100 reports through price action, volume, and indicator reports. We have over 100, including these sub-reports. Now, what that means is it's very difficult for a user or a trader, whether you're familiar with Edgeful or not, to figure out when these reports set up. And so pretty much like, we don't want you to have to memorize, okay, there's a gap up, there's also the orb is forming, it's also Wednesday, and then this is happening, this usually happens on Wednesdays, and also whatever else, all these like different things. Like we don't want you to have to do that. It's pretty unreasonable of an ask. So that's where this what's in place section comes into play. So here you can see right now it's in beta, but what this section will do is tell you when a report is setting up and how to take advantage of it. So for example, like we're looking at the ADR report here, this will tell you, like if the ADR is let's just say $10, it'll tell you where your price targets should be to stay within that $10 mark. You can see right here, bullish potential move on ES is to 6,000. The bearish potential move, considering the ATR, is 5,900. Not to get into the details of what that means, but this is the what's in place section. This is the part where now we're incorporating live data to tell you when to take advantage of high quality setups and when to kind of like pull back from stuff that is already set up. So if the gap has filled, then you don't want to obviously look at that anymore. This will tell you, okay, the gap is filled, don't look at it.
Sure.
Now, in terms of the updates, I know I just kind of spoke a lot, but I wanted to give a little bit of a overview of what these two things are. We have a complete redesign coming. So I'm sure some of you have seen me talk about this before, but we're changing the interface of what this looks like. So very similar. So we're not actually like moving a lot of things around, but we're just making it a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier for traders to go in and kind of like digest the information. So instead of having the navigation bar here on the top, we're just moving it to the side. Everything else in terms of the body of Edgeful is going to be very similar. So the same structure as you know now, which is important. We don't want to change too many things at once and like kind of make people feel like there's going to be a big learning curve. One of the things that's important is that we're updating the what's in place section to be a lot more robust. So where you can see multiple reports in one screen without having to scroll like I had to do here, there was like a lot of scrolling. Everything is pretty big and clunky. It's obviously still in beta at the moment. But here, this will allow you to see, okay, the orb is forming. Here are my levels. It did break out. Here are the probabilities of a double break, etc. And this one page, you can come in, you can put in your favorite ticker if you trade ES or NQ or gold or Apple or Tesla, and you can go and see all of the different setups on your favorite ticker right here. So right now, this would be where you're looking at ES. You can see the opening candle continuation, the previous day's range, the ICT opening retracement. And then now this allows you to not really have to think anymore, where you can just say, hey, I see the opening candle continuation is bearish. That means that I should have a bearish bias during the day. I see that there's a gap up today. I should have a bearish bias. And these are the types of things where it kind of eliminates you having to think so much, and it gives you the ability to focus your energy on actually executing properly on these trades. So one of the most major updates is this what's in place.
It. Looks neat. Looks very, very neat.
Yeah.
I know we gave it a little bit of an update in the Discord as well. But yeah, that looks very, very clean. Okay, so we've got just two questions that I want to make sure that we do cover.
Yeah.
And we can just switch back to my screen over here.
Sure.
Sorry, I did want to speak about, so first of all, I want to show my two favorite reports, and then I want to go over two questions that typically I get in the Discord. Okay, so first one, let's go over my trade. I had this trade actually live on our streaming services, ASFX TV, today on the NASDAQ, simply using the opening candle continuation report. So if I go over here and I come here to, let's go to, and the nice thing about Edgeful is they've got stocks, Forex, crypto, and futures. I actually find this one of my best reports to use with stocks, particularly because obviously they all haven't open, right? The stock market hasn't opened at 9:30. So if we just go to futures, right? Let's go to NQ because that's what I traded, right? NQ today. I also did trade NVIDIA to the high side, which was quite a nice, easy read. Pretty basic money play for me today. But if I just look here in the last year, so don't go year to date, there's only been 2 trading days today. Candle continuation on NQ on a Friday. If the first hour is bullish, and you can customize this 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. time Eastern. If the first hour is bullish, in the last year, NQ will close bullish 85.71% of the time. Now, if we come to my chart over here, and let's just zoom in, we opened here, so this would actually be at 4:30 South African time in the afternoon. That's where we opened. Okay. And the first hour we closed over here. So because of that, I saw that we were holding we had a first bullish, we are holding VWAP, we were first hour bullish, we had continuation plays. So I liked the longs to high side. I end up getting out here at half day, but a very clean and nice, simple move using Edgeful. So this is how you can actually use Edgeful on a day-to-day basis. Now, this is my second favorite report, and it's funny because I actually used this on Nvidia today. Okay, so Nvidia, we had longs above previous day's highs. This white dotted line is my previous day's highs, and you can actually get these indicators by invite on the Edgeful website. So if you come over here and you come down by report and you get access now, they will give you the indicators if you put your trading view username in there. Okay. So if we go to the previous day's range report, let's go to the stock that I traded. I traded Nvidia. So let's just go to that previous day's range report. Not to give away too much. I know this data is going to change all the time, though, right, guys? This is why everyone says, "Oh, well, I'm just going to take the data and use those two." The reports are going to change. What works one week might not work the next week, you know. So, and also you understand the nuances, because I might say, "Oh, Thursdays, whatever, don't work well for that report because it's got lower probabilities." But anyway, on a Friday, in the last year on Nvidia, if we take out the previous day's highs, 72% of the time we actually close as a bullish closing day. And by outside close, meaning that how often do we close above those previous day's highs? 62% of the time. So I just looked for bullish continuation, which we're actually getting a new high of day, and I still have 30% left in this trade, which is pretty nice. I can't actually trade the stocks as a CFD. I can't trade them until 10 minutes after the open, which actually is quite nice, because sometimes you can get faked out in the first 10 minutes. But yeah, this is really nice. I took this 10 minutes into the open and we continue higher. I'm up over almost 1 hour on my position right now with my stop back down at the open price. But again, I've just showed you 2 live trades of me using Edgeful today in order to actually make money, right? Up 1.15 on the day. So this is where I think Edgeful is head and shoulders above everyone else, because it's helped me so much in terms of actually making it realistic. You know, I think a lot of the times I didn't know where to start when I wanted to change from currencies to the indexes or stocks, and that's when obviously we had a chat in before you guys even launched, like last year December, not even last year, 2 years ago December now, 2022 December, and I was like, 2023 December, and I was I was still trading currencies, and now obviously this has made it so much easier for me moving over to the US markets. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing that I want to bring up, sorry, Andre, the second thing that I do want to bring up is if we come over here, let's get us on the left-hand side, So if we come here to the Edgeful website, bottom right-hand section here, this is where you come and get live support, right? Send your message, build a custom report. I get asked a lot in the Discord, I want to build a report. This is the place where you can do so. Okay. So then the second thing based on that is, I actually had a question here today. How long does it normally take for a report to be customized once requesting it, Andre?
So great question. It does depend. It depends on a few things. Are you asking for, so on your screen, you can see that buy outside close button. That button is what we call like a sub report. So there is the previous day's range report. That is like the master report. And then there's the sub report. So number one, are you asking for a sub report or a completely new report? So obviously a sub report, because we have the structure of it built, you want to add like a variant or a variation or like some sort of filter on that. That is faster naturally than a completely new report from scratch. If you want to make a request around a customization around a report, so for example, the orb report, people use 15-minute, people use 30-minute, people use 5-minute. So if we just had 15-minute orb and you couldn't change it, you'd reach out to us and say, hey, can we do 5-minute orb? That's a lot easier for us. So that would take maybe like a day. It also depends, to be honest, about how detailed your submissions are. Because the more detailed your submissions are, like the more information you give us, it'll be less back and forth between us and you as we're actually building it. So a lot of people, they make a request and they don't, which is fine because they're not the ones like that are building it like we are, but they don't really think about the next steps, or like, in this case, what would you do? Or in this case, or in that case, what would you do? So the back and forth requires a little bit more time too. So if you can make, like, best case scenario is you do like a screen recording showing a situation where, like, here, if let's just use the gap fill, for example, here's a perfect example of when the gap filled, price came down, touched this previous close, that would be success. Here is a day where it did not fill, price just went away from the gap from the previous close, this would be a failure. And just kind of showing us the two different results. Now, if you're asking for a report from scratch, typically it'll take probably like to be at this very moment, probably around like 2 weeks, because number one, we're rebuilding the entire site from scratch. So like a lot of our priorities are getting the new site out and then going and like kind of like attacking that log of report requests. But around 2 weeks, and it's also because we have to check all the results, obviously. So like multiple people will check on multiple tickers, multiple customizations, multiple sessions, multiple assets, and pretty much like we try to break it. And then that also takes time. Like we can't, it's like a little bit unrealistic to expect these reports to be built in one day, because like then we wouldn't really have the time to thoroughly check them. So that's the other thing. I would expect and like budget for typically around 2 weeks. Right now it's a little bit slower because we need to get this revamp of the site done. And then once we have that done, then we can go back into like just attacking those reports.
Sure. Yeah, I think obviously, as you mentioned, the easiest way to get the reports done would be to make a video explaining in detail, not just, hey, can you do this for me? Because I think a lot of the time it's very vague. You need to actually be quite detailed, because obviously you guys are a data company making data very accessible and easy for us, but you need to actually, you need to actually have it built in and solid, like not just, oh, we just built it based on this. No, you actually need to do it from a proper standpoint. Exactly. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's kind of the only questions that I really got from the Discord. Let's see if anyone else has put anything in there at the moment. No, some guys getting funded in the chat there using some of the reports. So that's really, really nice. So yeah, it's super cool to see. So anything else that you wanted to maybe cover? I know we wanted to speak. So yeah, we can touch on this I know you got a hard stop, but we can touch on this for maybe 5 more minutes, Andre. Yeah. We were just speaking before starting the stream, actually, and I think a lot of the times I get this when we work, in our mentorship and everything like this, guys want to come in and quit everything and start trading. I've been trading full-time for 5 years now, and I did it as my only source of income for 1.5 years. And I found it extremely lonely and extremely boring. You obviously being trading longer than me. I started August 2018. You started in 2016. I was still in high school in 2016. Explain to me and maybe the viewers, why do you think it is good to have other ways of making money and also other things that you do throughout the day, not just trading all day, every single day?
Yeah. So one thing that I really advocate for is making sure that you have a stop time. So if trading is, which I think it can be, if it's your only focus, that's totally fine. You can make amazing money. I do believe that if you kind of like put all your eggs in one basket, like you have no backup plan, you will make it work. So that's one thing. But when you shift from having a job, like a normal job where if you show up, you get paid, to trading, where like you show up, but not only may you not get paid, you might also lose money. Yeah. It comes to a point where if you're sitting at the screens for 4, 5, 6 hours, it becomes, for me at least, it's very hard for me to not like force unnecessary trades to where I end up losing money. Like I personally have a hard stop at 11 to 11:30. Like 11:30, if I haven't found a good trade setup, then like there is no way I'm taking a trade after that, because volume starts to die out. I personally don't do well in those environments. I need a lot of volatility. I need a lot of volume, like continuation. And what I've noticed is the longer I sit at the screens, the more likely I am to lose money. I think it's pretty universal. Yeah. But like having that one focus, I think is extremely important to get to the point where you have the foundation to actually be able to trade. And then the discipline to pull yourself away when there's nothing there is also very important.
Yeah. And because we were obviously just chatting, and I was like, a lot of traders, the guys that I see that are trading really, really well at a high level, guys like Umar Ashraf, guys like even Patrick Whelan, like guys, whatever he says behind, but he's a really good trader. I mean, the guy made 800. He had that massive payout with Apex the other day that I saw. Yeah. And he trades for like 3 hours a day, gets off, and then does his thing, works on personal brands, works on other things. And I think that's like you, right? You coming from a trading, we lose Andre there. Okay, there
No,
we go. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Look, coming from like a trading background, but now building Edgeful, like it's the same as kind of like what Umar's done. He's coming from a trading background and now building TradeZilla, other things to help traders, but also building a business, because I think it's quite fun to be able to build a personal brand, build a business on top of actually trading. And I like what you said, because I think also we were saying about like trying to trade every single stock or every single ticker under the sun compared to maybe focusing on like 3, is a lot better, because you're always going to miss something. The Palantir is going to be moving 30%, whatever in a day, whatever it's doing.
Yeah.
And then you're going to miss that. But then you can never catch every single move of every single ticker.
Yeah. And a lot of people, I mean, this meme coin, I don't know how many people here are following this like meme coin craze. To be honest, I would be lying if I said that I didn't want to start to look at, like obviously like a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, I would be lying if I said that I wouldn't want to just like put money into 10 of them and just hope that one of them just takes off. But you see a lot of what you see online is people posting like, 1000x, whatever, 100x. But for every one of those, I promise you there's 5,000 people that blew their account, that blew like their position. And the same thing applies where you have this like, I mean, I guess like a goldfish mentality where like, oh, shiny object. Oh, and then like now you're going from trading like Tesla options to trading like meme coins to trading like next prop firm. Like you're building bad habits, I think, for me personally, when you try to just go for this shiny objects. I have traded exclusively SPY, ES, NQ, and Tesla in the last year. That's it.
So basically the NASDAQ, the S&P, and Tesla.
Yeah, that's it. Like I've never traded NVIDIA options. I've traded SPX, which is the same.
It's the same. It's S&P. It's just a different form. Yep.
I've never traded the NVIDIA. I don't care about AVGO, like Broadcom, like any of that like goldfish shiny object is, to me, I want to stay away. Some people, they like it. Some people, it's their bread and butter. Okay, this is getting attention. GameStop is another example. I would never touch GameStop. I would never touch Chewy or whatever the other one was. That shiny object, shiny objects in that like shiny object thing is where you start to break all of your rules.
Yeah, because then you're just looking for the next, basically,
100%. And in trading, having people talk about psychology a lot, and I have an opinion on it. Your psychology could be the best, but if you're trading a losing system, it doesn't matter how well you stick to your plan. You're trading a losing system, you're going to lose money.
Yep.
I think the number one thing in trading is to find a strategy that works, find an edge, find a system, probabilities that are in your favor, and that's where you start to layer on the psychology. So I know we kind of just like went a little bit sideways there, but relating to trading a handful of things, find what works for you. At most 3 to 5 different tickers that work. And then from there, you build the psychology on top of that. Because in my experience, when I trade Tesla, I'm not trading the shares, I'm trading the options. And the options on Tesla, like my P&L is going to move a lot faster than if I'm trading the ES, for example.
Sure.
And then when I trade the NQ, my P&L is going to move even faster than that. And that requires a different mindset to go into it. And you kind of have to learn like what you like and what you don't like. Like a lot of people say like, well, I don't really like ES because it's too slow. And then they blow their accounts on NQ.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just stick to ES for a little bit, get used to it. It's like the way that the example, and I know you like F1, but you're trying to learn how to drive a car in a Formula One car, not in like a regular Ford.
Yeah, it's like you got to practice. You got to practice in a slow car, like Max Verstappen's Red Bull, and then you got to go to like a Mercedes. That's a good analogy. I agree. Yeah. I agree with that, because we were just chatting. I know it's like, and it's something that maybe has been like for me moving over from currencies to the US markets. Yeah. I've been trying to look at a little bit too much, and I think last year. And I'm going to make a video. Make sure to go check Edgeful out in the link in my bio. Go check out my YouTube as well, and my live streams here. I put a lot of content out here on my Twitter. Yeah. So for those that are watching for the first time, I do live streams almost every single day with my daily reviews. You know, showing how I'm doing using Edgeful. So So come over and check those out. But I'm going to show, I think if I looked at my statistics, and I'm going to make a video on this, I probably was looking for a little bit too much. If I just stuck to like literally like 4 or 5 tickers in the NASDAQ and maybe 3 equities, 3 stocks, I probably would have made a lot more because I would have been more narrowed in and could have traded big on those better setups. If you got, I think a lot of traders, there's different ways to make a lot of money. You can trade for big moves, like go trade your GameStop, go trade with Chewy, all those things, and get big moves starting with smaller capital, or you can have bigger capital, which is prop firms or whatever you want to call them, funding companies give you, and you're able to actually make 3-4% a month on bigger capital. It's the same. You're doing it the same way. It's just, I think it's a lot more sustainable to do it with the latter. But yeah, I appreciate you being on today, Andrew. I know I don't want to go on too long. I hope that you guys enjoyed that. Anything else that you would like to speak about before we shut it down? Yeah.
No, I mean, I think that one thing that I'll say, like not relating to anything that we've really spoken about, is it's a new year. We can, for anyone who's watching, like, take it seriously. I mean, they go by fast. I mean, in my opinion, they go by faster and faster every time. It's like, we'll blink and it'll be 2026. We'll blink again, it'll be 2035. And just make sure that you're taking advantage. Like, I'm pretty confident that most people that are watching this are young. And like, I mean, like in my opinion, young is like really anything below 50.
Yeah.
Where you can really change your life still if you're 45. Like, you're not like cooked at that point. Like, you can still learn how to trade. You can still like have a lot of success. Like, even if you're over 50, to be honest, like trading, like there's no really requirement to breaking into the space, but just take it seriously. You're only gonna regret not taking it seriously earlier. Like, you're only gonna wish you started earlier, and you're only gonna wish that you like actually journaled and you actually like stuck to your plans and you actually like watched those courses and like watched those videos and like, yeah, I mean, that it's a new year. I know that people like their New Year's resolutions and stuff. And like most of the time it's a joke, but if you really like do it for yourself, like just stick to like what you said that you're going to do, like you'll probably thank yourself. And like, trading is, in my opinion, the best business that you can be in. I know that we spoke about personal brands. I know we spoke about like building a business, but like, it really is infinitely scalable, and you can do it. And I hate to sound corny, but like, you can do it from anywhere in the world, whenever you want to. You can choose the day you work. You can choose how much you get paid. You can choose everything, and you don't have anyone to report to. And if you commit to learning this skill, which might feel impossible right now, it's not impossible once you commit to it. And like, give yourself a year, give yourself 2 years, give yourself 3 years to say, I'm going to learn this and it's going to pay me for the rest of my life. And I mean, that's the last thing that I'll say.
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that. So less is more, kind of like a more focus, right? So that's what we're trying to say from this. So again, come check out Edgeful. My 2 favorite reports that I've shown you, can go rewatch this video, is the previous day's range report as well as the opening candle continuation. And we're just one last time, we will just show it up here on stream over here, right? The previous day's range report. Yep. Okay, and then the opening candle continuation report. If you just joined in, I'll go back and rewatch it. But I think those 2 reports are the ones I like. I know a lot of guys like. I mean, it's the same thing. What you're saying, gap fill, inside box. There's so many different things. Find 2 or 3 that you like, that you vibe with, and then stick with that, right? So yeah, I appreciate everyone being on. Andre, I appreciate your time as always, and we'll see you guys for the next live stream.
All right, thank you.